Welcome to the 108th,
Yeah.
108th episode.
Placement of that is pretty crucial.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you got it.
Of the All the Books Show, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news.
Here we are, back at it.
I'm Eric Mickles.
I'm Nick Gunning.
Yeah.
Next week for you, we're going to have the short list for the Man Booker Prize, which is coming out soon. So we'll talk about that next week. Not now, because it hasn't come out yet, but soon we'll be able to talk about that.
Have we already talked about how the man... You're the one who said it. That Man Booker sounds like a cop who doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, Man Booker!
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
All right.
So, anyway.
That's how we're starting the show.
I guess
Strong.
So. Yep, that's what we're doing.
Powerful. Mm-hmm. We're in charge.
Yep.
We're the one making the calls.
We sure are.
We're the lionesses of this.
We
of
sure
this hunt.
are. Yep.
So.
Well, today we're going to be talking about upcoming film adaptations. I feel like it's been a really heavy, page-to-screen adaptation year so far. Have you found that to be the case?
I think Tom Hanks has found that to be the case.
Seriously. He's been in at least 3.
I don't know.
If not more.
Track, yeah.
He was in Inferno, Hologram for the King, and The Circle. So, yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Anyway, it seems like there's been a lot, and we're more than halfway through the year, and there's a lot still coming. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Right now, we're going to talk about what we've been reading ourselves. And man, did we get a lot of response from that "What summer reads have you read?" question we posed.
Yeah.
Even after we were done recording, it was just like bloop, 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 more and more and more.
What's that sound?
That was the social media, boop, you have a notification, boop. And we kept getting them.
The Nick Gunning version of Facebook would have ever taken off.
You don't think it would have?
No.
Well, you don't know.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
You don't know. You don't know.
You have a message, bloop.
What have you been reading?
Oh, so we're just cutting to bookmark? We're just gonna,
that's where we are.
We're just going to ignore your crazy social media app.
We could talk about it if you want.
No, okay, so I read DMZ Volume 7.
TMZ? That weird...
No, DMZ. I'm reading the novelization of a weekly...
I don't know, man.
Mean celebrity teardown show.
I don't know what you're doing.
This really gives me the insight of that guy who sits at the computer and tears down Chris Pratt.
It's really strange choice you're making.
D as in dog.
Okay.
M as in mother.
DMZ.
Z as in zebra.
You know what? I have to make a quick correction. It's the National Book Award that's popping out their short list. So, that's it. Keep going.
I wish we had a little drinky bird.
Do you?
That we could just look at when you cause moments like that.
Do you?
A little drinky bird. We just stop and look at each other, and the only thing moving is the drinky bird.
Okay. All right.
I guess, or when I cause those moments. It doesn't have to be exclusively you.
Yeah, well, this just in, it actually is the Man Booker Prize that we're going to be talking about.
Hold on. And back to you, drinky bird.
All right. So what have you been reading?
So I read DMZ Volume 7.
Go on.
War Powers.
Yeah.
Look, this is a comic book. This is by Vertigo. It was about the island of Manhattan being split due to a in the country rebellion, the free states versus the actual states of America.
Okay.
This started. I think I started reading this in 2007.
Okay. And is this the final volume?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I've just been behind. So this started in 2007. This is only volume 7 that I'm on. It's just, I take these huge multiple year gaps in between these volumes. And then when I pick it up, I'm like, why don't I like this?
Yeah.
And I think it's because of that.
Probably.
So I've ordered the next volume right now.
Oh, look at you. Staying on top of it.
I'm going to try to, because I did like this series when it first started, and then I just kind of fell out of it. The problem is, because it's written from a war correspondent, a lot of it is just inner monologue narration.
Oh, yeah.
And huge gaps of monologue that I'm just like, I don't, because I guess for me, when I'm reading those monologues about this specific character, I'm like, well, this isn't really the character. This is how the author Brian Wood feels about New York City and all this stuff. So it's not so as interesting to me. So,
well, it is over now.
Yes,
it has
done.
Finished. 12 volumes total.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And I finished the 7th season of Game of Thrones.
Oh, on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
You're more caught up than George R.R. Martin.
That's true.
In the series now.
He's calling for advice. So what
he
happens then?
Yeah.
So what's funny about these last 2 seasons, the 3rd season was all about this one character, Jaime Lannister.
Are we talking about Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, hold on.
All right.
The third season was all about Jaime Lannister having to get from the north to the south.
Yeah.
And it took a whole season for him to get there, okay?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now, because they're just trying to get to the end, people going north and south like within 5 minutes. It's just a quick edit now. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
People just like, they're still taking ships,
right?
And they're still just like, oh, hold on, I have to leave, and then they're just
gone.
Yeah, it's like watching the Flash.
So are they just accelerating time, or are they just not?
I don't know because there's no sense of like how the time frame is working.
Oh, okay.
There's no. Everybody seems to be working at a normal speed, like they're just gonna walk down the street.
Huh.
So there's no like.
All right.
Yeah, time isn't really moving that fast.
Interesting.
It is confusing.
I guess actually you're pretty on subject because that is the ultimate page-to-screen adaptation right now. Yeah. It's like the most popular.
Yeah.
So good for you being relevant.
Yeah, I'm liking this season more than I have because now it's just being an action movie. But it is just kind of funny about like they really have to, start booking it. So
yeah. I feel like Game of Thrones is one of those things where if you're not up on it, hearing people talk about it is exhausting. Not you, because you're a lot of fun. But like whenever I'm like reading an article or listening to another podcast and people start talking about it, it's not one of those things where you can just sort of be like, oh, interesting things are happening on that show. Right. It's like my eyes just glaze over. I don't. Yeah. The books remain popular. We had to buy a whole new set.
Yes, that's
so
true.
People are still checking them out. How long has it been since the last book? Something ridiculous, like 5 years or something, right?
I can't remember if I was here when it came out.
Crazy. Is that it then?
It has been a while.
Caught up for you?
Yeah, I'm still reading The Three Body Problem.
Okay.
So
all right. And we have that whole set too. The third in that trilogy is now in our new books collection. So if you were ahead of Eric, the third book is all ready for you.
That's true. Yeah.
I haven't finished anything since our last recording.
Oh, okay. And you judged me that whole time.
Other than graphic novels. I have finished graphic novels. So quickly, I'll tell you that I finished Batman, Superman Volume 4, Siege. Pretty good. Okay. It starts with a great standalone story. I really liked it. Then it got crazy. I finished the Star Trek Newspaper Archives, Volume 2. Not as good as the first volume. Kind of peters out.
Right. Hey, I got you Volume 1.
And I read Frank Miller's Spider-Man collection, which was kind of fun. It's just Frank Miller of the Dark Knight Strikes Again, Dark Knight Returns fame. Yeah. These are just loose, random Spider-Man issues that he drew and occasionally like scripted. So what struck me most about it is how good Marvel was in that era. If you read like 70s DC versus 70s Marvel's just so much more together. Like the stories are good and not like goofy, and Lois Lane isn't trying to marry anyone in a Marvel story, so a little different. But that was interesting. I'm currently reading for the book clubs.
Can we use that? We have to
go on.
This is in memoriam moment.
Get there.
Len Wein.
Oh yes,
a pretty prolific comic book writer of that era. Of comics.
Co-creator of Wolverine, right?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he wrote the issue where he is introduced in that Hulk issue. Yeah. He also wrote Giant Size X-Men Volume 1, which is the one where the new team showed up. So that's the team with Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler.
The one people like.
Yeah, the first X-Men comic I ever read. Wow. So, he just passed away. He also co-created Swamp Thing.
Wow. So, well, I think we have a lot of his work represented here, so come in, tune it out.
So... sad day.
Yeah.
All right.
Go
ahead.
Sure. For the book clubs, I'm currently reading American Assassin by Vince Flynn.
Yeah.
With first of the Mitch Rapp series, which we're going to talk about in this segment because it is an upcoming page-to-screen adaptation.
Reading it, do you already know who Michael Keaton is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also reading Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen.
Right.
I'm about halfway through it. I'm planning on finishing it up in the next couple of days. Book club is next week.
It?
Well, it's not really my thing. But I'm surprised at how like witty and biting a lot of the writing is. I expected it to be a little bit more like, I don't know, prim and dry, I guess. And the style is far removed from like a modern novel, certainly. But the wit in the way she sort of, you're reading along and suddenly it kind of twists the whole perspective and you're like, oh, whoa, that was a major burn. I didn't see that coming. So it is interesting. It'll be fun to talk about. I don't think it's going to convert me into being a huge Jane Austen fan, but it's one of the things that's nice about the book club. I have to read things that I wouldn't normally read, and often, even if I don't always like become a devotee of that author, it gives me new insight, new affection for some of them. So.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Jane Austen.
Yeah.
Meets Sherlock Holmes, and they solve crimes.
That's real. That's got to be a real thing. You're not even making that up.
What do we call
I'm
it?
currently reading those two for the book clubs. I'm going to get to something fun just for me after that. And then for graphic novels, I'm reading Poe Dameron Volume 2. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Let's talk book news.
You know what to say. Mo Po, mo problems.
Dude, is that said often? Because it really seemed difficult for you to say. So I guess if you're saying it a lot, it's just stood out to me that you had trouble with it.
I sure did.
Okay, well, let's talk about what's coming down the pike a couple of months from now.
You say that a lot.
I do?
Yeah, you're always talking about what's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Okay, I'll come up with something new.
All right.
Let's see what's coming down the old
Poe Dameron
pike. Yeah. All right, we have from the late Tom Clancy, another Jack
co-creator.
Ryan, co-creator. He's the series creator of the Jack Ryan Universe series. This series continued on. He was writing with Mark Greaney while he was still living.
Right.
Greaney wrote a couple by his own, and then it's passed on. Now the author of record for the Jack Ryan universe is Mark Cameron, and this is going to be book 24 in the Jack Ryan universe, and this is coming out in November. Power and Empire. President Jack Ryan. How long is his term? Seems like he's been president since like the mid-'80s.
Is that true?
That's dangerous. President Jack Ryan is dealing with an aggressive challenge from the Chinese government. Pawns are being moved around a global chessboard. An attack on an oil platform in Africa, a terrorist attack on an American destroyer, and a storm-tossed American spy ship that may fall into Chinese hands. It seems that Premier Zhao is determined to limit Ryan's options in the upcoming G20 negotiations. But there are hints that there's even more going on behind the scenes. A routine traffic stop in rural Texas leads to a shocking discovery, a link to a Chinese spy who may have information that leads to an unexpected revelation. John Clark and the members of the campus are in close pursuit, but can they get the information in time? ? We don't know.
Boy, these really are thrillers.
They are, a mile a minute. When it was the Chris Pine Jack Ryan movie, and they were planning to do Jack Ryan movies and John Clark movies, with Kevin Costner's character in that movie sort of being the Nick Fury, to use a Marvel.
I understand.
That you'll understand. They were tossing around Tom Hardy as John Clark.
Okay,
was an option.
Instead they picked
in there. Well,
Kevin
it just
Costner.
after no. Kevin Costner played kind of like he was pulling the strings behind the scene. John Clark's a different character, who, like the book Without Remorse, is a John Clark book.
Okay,
doesn't matter. They scrapped all that. Now we got our John Krasinski Amazon show.
Yeah.
Do people watch Amazon shows?
I just told you today.
I know you watched The Tick, but I mean,
Transparent's pretty popular.
Yeah, okay.
Man in the High Castle, I think, does pretty okay.
Does it?
What's that other show? The Mozart in the Jungle.
Oh, okay.
I think does all right.
Is there anything that doesn't have its own original programming now?
Just me.
Just you? Wow. What about this?
I do.
What about this right here?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know.
It's
the
like
Sci-Fi Channel.
I'm pumping gas, and it's like now on the gas station network.
I guess wasn't Facebook about to do something?
Yeah. I think they got away from that. I don't think they're doing it now.
I hope so. That would seem to be
I still can't
the
get
thing.
over that Stephen King adaptation that Mr. Mercedes is on like the Audience Network.
Yeah, the Audience
As
Network.
if
That's a big
thing.
one. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Oh, network for me. The Audience.
Anyway.
Finally.
If you are a
Mom!
Jack Ryan fan,
Mom, the Audience Network.
late November, you're going to get Power and Empire. Hey. A close friend of mine and Eric's has a new adventure, Mr. Jack Reacher.
I have a question about Tom Clancy.
Okay.
And I guess this is about all the
They're
authors who have passed away.
They're real boring.
Rainbow Six is pretty good.
Okay.
But that's only one of two I've ever read.
Yeah. I feel like the plot is really good, and if somebody would just come and hack off like 40% of the books, Tom Clancy books would be great.
Yeah. You could try to come at them with a hatchet if you want, but Rainbow Six is going to take you down.
Yeah, they will. They won't even hesitate.
No, this is about Tom Clancy and other authors who have passed away, but their stuff is still going.
Like Vince Flynn, for example.
Yeah.
He passed away, and the Mitch Rapp series is continuing on.
So my question is, how long can this go on?
A long time.
But, so you would keep that going because there are people who read Tom Clancy when Tom Clancy was alive and writing the books.
Yeah.
But eventually you're going to get to a point where those people are gone as well.
I think the Clancy brand is still going pretty strong, with games and stuff. I feel like there's a decent amount of recognition.
But I guess I just mean with like Robert B. Parker and like all these like books that are this author's characters written by the like like in 20 years if they found another Michael Crichton novel, would it be that big of a deal?
Yeah.
Because
I see what you're saying.
I guess at what point does the audience go away?
I don't know. I mean, I think there's kind of a phasing out with that often. You start to be, maybe it's not a hardcover. Maybe you reduce the frequency. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're paperback originals, and then they just kind of peter out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little surprised that the Tom Clancy books have
kind of like Clive Cussler right now. Like, he's not as popular as he used to be.
Right.
If he passed away and people kept going, how much longer would?
Well, like an example would be William Johnstone, who's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
And those books are still coming out with the William Johnstone byline.
Yeah.
And they sell, they do well for what they are, but they just come out mass market paperback. They're in every Walmart across America, and they get snapped up. So I think the question is scale, because then I think it becomes less about the author, like, and their writing skills, and more about what that brand means.
Yeah.
So if you like a Tom Clancy type book, that it's just kind of an indicator. You know what you're going to get, kind of like with the James Patterson.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So my next question is, how much longer do you think Star Trek can go without Gene Roddenberry around?
It's probably better.
All right.
Star Trek Discovery starts soon.
Yeah.
By the way,
you were making a big fuss because you thought you were going to miss the premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I was going to invite you to a party so you could watch it on your portable television.
That would have been great. That's an inside reference to the time I watched Lois and Clark on a portable television set at a high school Super Bowl party.
A Lois and Clark marathon.
Lois and Clark marathon, yeah. I'd seen the episodes.
Nick!
I had seen the episodes.
We're watching football!
Listen, remember the time, though.
Yeah.
You couldn't just sit down and call up any Lois and Clark episode you wanted. You had to wait till they came on TV again. Yeah. I wasn't going to miss a Lois and Clark marathon to do something that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not the one on trial here. Do you want to do a Lois and Clark podcast with me?
No.
No. Just listen.
Okay.
This is just the two of us now.
Just last.
Do you want to do a Lois and Clark podcast?
I don't think I do.
Okay. All right.
Hey.
If anybody out there wants in, just let me know.
Isn't your brother almost in town?
Yeah, that's true.
Is he a Lois and Clark fan?
No. I don't think so.
What a better time to become a fan.
Yeah. I mean, he's diligent. He's dedicated. He'll do it.
Watch
90 episodes of Lois and Clark. Stat.
90 episodes.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
Anyway.
You go on with your book news.
Before this weird little sidetrack started, I was telling you that Lee Child is back with the latest Jack Reacher book, Jack Reacher number 22. Tom Cruise, call your agent. There might be some good material here.
You think Tom Cruise has to call his agent?
Yeah, I think he does. I was surprised with the most recent Jack Reacher movie. I was surprised for two reasons. One,
it was bad.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Two, Never Go Back is a really recent book. So they usually when they adapt those things, they go for earlier in the series, but that was actually a really late one. So
was that his kid? It wasn't his kid.
Spoiler alert.
I guess
it wasn't his kid. You're right.
If you care.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you know Jack Reacher, it just couldn't possibly be his kid. That would just change fundamentally.
There's a lot of Jack Reacher books, though, right?
This is book 22.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of short stories and, like ebook only kind of novellas and stuff. But yeah, 22 hardcover novels plus a couple of films. One decent, one starring Kobe Smulders.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He hurt himself.
Yeah.
See that? Doing the new Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Is it 6? It's 6.
I don't
Mission
know.
Impossible 6. Hey, and good news. Number of episodes for Lois and Clark, 87.
87. How is that good news?
Because you thought it was 90. That's
I
3 off.
The network renewed the show, allowed them to cancel on a cliffhanger, and then reversed the decision and canceled.
Uh-huh.
It's not that kind of thing wouldn't happen in this day and age. The internet would be all over it.
Have they never comic booked it?
No.
They've just never done it.
No, it's a
Look,
it's a cliffhanger with no conclusion.
Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about Lois and Clark on this show. So if you're listening, please.
Well, I think Dean Cain listens.
Do something.
Yeah.
Just write a book.
Yeah.
Write a 6-issue comic book series.
C.J. Shera. You familiar with C.J. Shera?
No.
Very popular fantasy author. of yesteryear, if we're being honest, wrote a Lois and Clark novel. So I'd be up for a sequel.
Okay.
That finishes that. But we have to stop talking about this. Jack Reacher, The Midnight Lion. Jack Reacher number 22. Jack Reacher takes an aimless stroll past a pawn shop in a small Midwestern town. In the window, he sees a West Point class ring from 2005. It's tiny. It's a woman's cadet graduation present to herself. Why would she give it up? Reacher's a West Pointer too, and he knows what she went through to get it. Reacher tracks the ring back to its owner, step by step, down a criminal trail leading west. Like Bigfoot come out of the forest, he arrives in the deserted wilds of Wyoming. All he wants is to find the woman. If she's okay, he'll walk away. If she's not, he'll stop at nothing. He's still shaken by the recent horrors of Make Me, and now the Midnight Line sees him at a raw and elemental quest for simple judgment. Best advice, don't get in his way. Are you in?
No.
Say it into the mic.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I whispered it.
From Mary Higgins
Are
Clark.
you in?
No. From Mary Higgins Clark and Elifair Burke, book 5 in the Under Suspicion series. This series is pleasant and harmless, not particularly engaging. That's my 2 cents.
Harsh.
Queen of Suspense, Mary Higgins Clark and Elifair Burke
Is she?
back with their 4th book in the New York Times.
She's not the Queen of Suspense.
I don't find her book suspenseful, is the thing.
Who would be the Queen of Suspense?
Suspense?
It's not Daniel
I don't know.
Steele.
I mean, I maybe would give it to like Gillian Flynn now.
Yeah.
But-
What did they...
Ruth Ware, they called the Agatha Christie of our times.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Anyway, Every Breath You Take follows television producer Laurie Moran's investigation of the unsolved Met Gala murder in which a wealthy widow was pushed to her death from the famous museum's rooftop.
Okay.
And finally, and this is a weird one, everyone, let me tell you, after Anatevka, this is coming out in large print, a novel inspired by Fiddler on the Roof. This is a novel sequel to the
Fiddler on the Roof.
Story and musical Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah.
This is what you want for Lois and Clark.
Yeah. In After Anatevka, Alexandra Silber picks up where Fiddler left off. Second eldest daughter, Hodel, takes center stage as she attempts to join her socialist-leaning fiancé, Perchik, to the outer reaches of a Siberian work camp. But before Hodel and Perchik can finally be together, they both face extraordinary hurdles and adversaries, both personal and political, attempting to keep them apart at all costs. They're about to know what everything's for.
What just happened?
Perchik's song in Fiddler on the Roof is legendarily awkward. It ends on this weird note that like never resolves.
Oh, okay.
So it feels like somewhere he's still singing that song.
That's funny.
I did Fiddler on the Roof 78 times.
Oh,
I just want to put it out there.
Jeez.
I did. So that's it. That's coming to you in large print.
You've talked
you can
about
check that out.
Your shows
in November.
78 times.
I think that's a modest estimate. All right. What do we have for the New York Times bestseller list?
All right. Here we are.
Lois
New York
and Clark,
Times
Lois and Clark.
bestsellers list. You think Lois and Clark?
They switched Jimmys is the thing. The first season had one
So
Jimmy.
does Smallville.
And the second... Okay, fair enough. All right, go on.
Okay, so this is this will be a bummer. This is the hardcover fiction list for this week on the New York Times bestsellers list. I'm saying it's a bummer because number 12 is Any Dream Will Do.
Oh.
So
Aww.
that's better, yeah. So we won't be able to do that bit anymore.
No, we can't do it.
Lying Game by Ruth Ware, the Agatha Christie of our times. Is at number 11 already.
Ruth
So,
wearing thin.
Nice.
Thank you.
I was about to say that's going to be no Woman in Cabin 10.
Yeah.
But that was mean too.
Yeah.
Number 10.
Needlessly so.
Yeah. Number 10, new this week, Star Wars. So there's a few Star Wars books that came out this...
Go on.
There's a few Star Wars books that came out. Which one do you think this is?
Phasma.
It's Phasma!
Yeah.
By Delilah S. Dawson.
Yeah.
Captain Phasma, officer of the First Order, battles a mysterious stormtrooper who's bent on unearthing her origins. I bet they won't be found out.
Probably
Because
not.
they're saving that for the movie.
Probably not.
You'll have to find out my true origins in this false film, Star Wars, The
They're
Last
doing
Jedi.
a whole like Road to Last Jedi like line of Star Wars books, but it seems to me that they're all set before The Force Awakens, so it's an odd road to get there. Are you going to read Phasma?
I don't know. We'll see what happens like come November when I start reading some Star Wars stuff.
We'll see what happens. Are you going to read the new Claudia Gray Leia book?
Maybe.
Bloodline was so bad.
Yeah.
It just made me think like, ugh.
All right. Well, I'll probably check out the later one.
Right,
There's a few other. Rebel Rising.
You let me know.
Might be worth checking out.
Right, Rabble Rousing, did you say?
Rabble Rousing, yeah.
Okay. Rebel Wilson. Star Wars.
Number 9, 41 weeks on this list. A Gentleman in Moscow by Immortals.
There he is.
Number 8, The Late Show by Michael Connelly. Number 7, sharing the spot with number 6 is Seeing Red by Sandra Brown. And number 6, which is sharing the spot with number 7, is My Absolute Darling by Gabrielle Talent. A remarkable, self-sufficient 14-year-old girl must fight to save herself from an abusive survivalist father.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Dark.
Pass.
Yeah. Number 5, Camino Island by John Grisham.
Yep.
That's been there for a while, man.
It has, I know.
You got to pick it up.
I guess.
Hey, I'll tell your son to get this for you for Father's Day next year.
Please do, yeah. By then, the Rooster Bar will be out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got to read Camino Island first then.
I know.
Number 3, The Store by James Patterson and Richard DeLallo.
Hey, you know what? I'm kind of a sucker for this sort of thing. Here's an insight into me. When there is like alternate versions of like book jackets and stuff. There are 2 covers to this one.
For The Store?
One has the male character. He's just running away in silhouette, and it's in blue. And the other has the female protagonist. She's running away, and the font's all in red.
Right.
I like that.
Nice.
It's a fun little...
Yeah.
You get to choose which one you want.
James Patterson has your number.
Yeah. James Patterson's like, how can we sell even more books?
Is that a James Patterson
I just assume from his looks. He seems like he's got kind of a frail voice.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess I kind of imagine he sounds like Ed Harris.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. He's got it all.
Ed Harris?
Literally. No, James Patterson.
Oh.
He's got all the money that there is.
Uh-huh.
And he sounds like Ed Harris.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Good
as
for him.
old as Ed Harris is, he's still pretty, like, wry.
Yeah.
He's still pretty spry, I think I meant to say.
Yeah.
Not wry. That's his humor.
Is this why you have that Ed Harris poster up in the back of your door?
Yes!
In your office?
Gosh!
All right. It's fine. Just curious.
From from A History of Violence, specifically.
Understand.
Yeah. And The Truman Show.
Sure.
Not the same poster.
That's an underrated movie, don't you think?
Truman Show?
Yeah, Truman Show.
I think everyone who's seen it likes it.
Okay.
Do you think there are people who don't like The Truman Show?
It just seems like it never really gets any play. I'll tell you what's a true underrated Jim Carrey movie is The Majestic. I love The Majestic. Jim Carrey, Martin Landau.
That's true. I think I remember it
Great
having
movie.
mixed reception when it came out. I've never seen it.
It's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh, wow.
It's confusing because it's Jim Carrey and it's not funny at all. You know,
Yeah.
it's just very
Hey, I've seen The Truman Show.
good, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
watch The Majestic if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
One
Or
of
The
my
Truman
favorites.
Show.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. Is Ed Harris in
Truman Show.
The Majestic?
No, he's not. He's in Apollo 13, but
I don't know.
okay.
Okay. Number 3, The Right Time.
Well,
Yeah.
is there a wrong time?
By Danielle Steele.
Oh,
The author, Alexandra Winslow, writing under the pseudonym Alexander Green, creates a double life that isolates her. So Alexandra.
okay. So this is the plot of
writing
Joyce Carol Oates' Jack of Spades, which is in turn about an author stealing another author's work.
Yes.
So
Danielle Steele has stolen.
life imitates
Yeah.
art.
Art imitates life.
A lot of things are being
imitates art,
imitated.
yeah.
Let's just say.
Well,
that.
imitation is the highest form of flattery.
You're right.
So art is constantly being flattered by life.
It sure is.
So, oh, life, you do go on.
Great. I'm gonna put that on a David A. Howe coffee mug. We'll have to play it back to hear what you said exactly, but
Number 2, Y is for yesterday.
yeah, it is.
But hey, I don't want to do that joke.
Yeah.
I want to abandon that joke.
Yeah.
If I had a jetpack, I'd be
Wow,
far gone.
You're really growing as a person. What's number 1? Is it new? Tell me if it's new or
By
not.
Sue Grafton.
That's 2.
No, right. This is the 25th.
Yeah, I want to know.
Kinsey Malhone mystery novel.
Yeah, Malhon.
So she has 5 more of these books she can write.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Number 1 is new this week.
Okay,
Do you have a guess?
let
you
me
see
think.
books. You order books.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. What is it?
Okay. It's Glass Houses by Louise Penny.
Oh yes.
When a body is discovered in 3 Pines.
Oh no.
Chief Superintendent
I heard a body.
Gamache regrets not acting on a hunch. What if this was Chief Superintendent was actually like the superintendent of a school system?
Oh, well, she'd be way out of her depth.
So yeah,
We're reading the first Inspector Gamache, was it?
I don't know.
Okay.
You don't trust my pronunciation.
We're reading the first of those books for the book club in a couple of
Could
months.
be Groucho.
This is one that's like I don't feel like she has like a top tier like name recognition, but
Louise
it seems
Penny?
like but she has like a really devout following.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this will be a hit. I'm not surprised it's number one.
Yeah. Do you know if you're walking down the street and you find a Louise Penny book,
yeah,
title size up,
yeah,
you're gonna have good luck all day.
That's true. I did know
so
that.
You have to take the book with you though.
Oh, you do?
So yeah, there's a lot of places though where you can take a Louise Penny book.
Yeah,
but you also have to leave a
Louise
Penny
book. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, a Louise Penny book saved.
This is stupid.
I know. It really is. Well, you know what? Let's talk page.
Did you know the new It movie replaced Tim Curry?
This is a great segue.
It replaced Tim Curry with Louise Pennywise the clown.
Really? That's so strange. I thought that was a great segue, but it was actually one more thing for something that we decided to abandon.
I'm sorry.
But speaking of the movie It, It came out this past week, and so we thought now would be a good time.
What are you talking about?
The movie It.
What It?
It.
It what?
The movie It. It's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
It is.
What is?
It.
That was dumber than the penny stuff.
We'll be here all week.
Yeah.
Not dumber than the penny stuff. The movie It came out, the remake. There's been a lot of anticipation about this movie. I will never see it because I like sleeping and having thoughts that aren't
and
filled
not
with
watching children be murdered.
Murder, yeah. So I will never be watching this movie, but a lot of people are. I've also not read the book, and I don't plan to.
You're probably wondering.
Yeah, I am actually.
How much darn money?
Yeah, R-rated horror. Let's hear.
R-rated movie make.
Yeah.
It made $123 million its opening weekend.
And that's good.
$123 million for an R-rated horror film.
Oh, okay. All right, sure.
In September.
Well, they went bananas for it here across the street. A lot of like pre-publicity promotion for this movie.
That's huge. It's huge. And if it keeps going, like even if it only makes... You usually tell how much money a movie is going to make based off of its opening weekend and then multipliers. So, like, bad would be just twice what it made at opening weekend. Good is like 3 times or more than that. So, if it makes double, it's made $200 million here.
Wow.
Just here. So, that is crazy.
People are going nuts for this movie about Louise Penny terrorizing children.
Louise Penny Wise.
Oh, sorry.
It only cost $35 million to make, too.
Pretty good deal.
So...
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Well, as we said, it's been a heavy year for adaptations, and we've got a lot to go. So we're going to cover a couple here. Some of the ones we're going to be pulling are going to come from an article that originally appeared on The Vulture. So you can find them at thevulture.com. Going to be discussing some of the things that come out.
We talked about this early in the year. Is that right?
It? Yeah,
No.
we did,
Yes.
but a lot of these we didn't cover first time around. So we were just doing sort of the first half.
And this
of
is
the
a
year.
refresher because now we're about to get into Oscar season.
That's right, we
are.
are.
So this is where the Muppets character, Oscar the Grouch, starts finally putting out his film.
Yeah.
His film projects that he's been in.
This is when he was waiting.
So I guess we're just making name puns.
Yeah, I
for
think
the rest of the show.
That's what this is about.
You like Oscar season?
I try to watch them.
You try to watch most of them.
Yeah, I do.
My wife loves Oscar season.
Yeah, she's all about it.
She loves Oscar season and the Oscars.
Well, let's talk about American Assassin because that is coming quickly. So that's coming from Vince Flynn, as we mentioned.
Oh, you're skipping the Rye book.
It's an adaptation of the... we can cover that if you want. It's an adaptation of the first of the Mitch Rapp series. I've never known anything about this series. Like, I've never read them before. I've never really picked one up. I'm about, 30% through with this one, and I'm actually really intrigued by it. It seems like it's got a little bit more... like bubbling under the surface than a lot of these like thrillers tend to.
Yeah.
And it's a good amount of like, what's going on, but you don't really know like why or many of the details. Yeah. And sometimes that can be really frustrating. But I feel like for this part, it's working pretty well.
One thing most people who saw the trailer probably don't know is that it's based on the book.
Yeah,
American Assassin by Vince Flynn.
They weirdly buried the lead on that. Yeah. I mean, it might have been in there somewhere, like when they flashed that credits page, but it was never like from the best-selling, Yeah. They didn't even do it. So, anyway, Michael Keaton and Dylan, I never can remember his name. Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien.
All right, so here's a little info on this.
Stupid-looking mouth.
The movie came out the book came out in 2010. Before Vince Flynn died in 2013, he wrote more than a dozen best-selling books following protagonist Mitch Rapp, who's an undercover CIA counterterrorism agent. American Assassin was the origin story for Mitch, telling us that his motivation for joining the agency, I'm not going to tell you what it was, Together with the other agents who operate outside the law, Rapp is tasked with preventing what could be a new world war in the Middle East. So what I'm not sure about is if this is like, if the book is actually a prequel, or if it's written as the first book.
I don't know, man.
Me neither.
We got
Are you interested in this at all? Like, did you want to see it?
I already told you I'll go see it, man.
No, I know you will go see it, but like you're not. It doesn't do anything.
Maybe it could be good. It could be surprising. I have been enjoying lower budget, smaller budget action films as of late.
I like Dylan O'Brien as an actor, and I love Michael Keaton. So
do you?
I feel like,
what do you like him in?
Dylan O'Brien. Well, I mean, I loved him in Teen Wolf for one. He was funny on New Girl. I like him in The Maze Runner.
New Girl?
Yeah. He's one of Jess's exes. It doesn't matter.
Dylan O'Brien?
Yes. But to answer the question that I posed, American Assassin actually is a prequel, so it's not technically the first book, though it's often listed that way because it gives you the...
That's how you would read it.
The background. Well, I wouldn't have on purpose. I moved it up ahead on the book club so we could read it concurrent with the movie coming out.
Are you sure you're not thinking Adam Brody?
I'm sure.
From New Girl?
I'm sure. If you want to look it up, No,
I don't want to.
Okay.
Talk about.
You want to talk about the J.D. Salinger?
I haven't read Catcher in the Rye.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
So the movie's called Rebel in the Rye. So I guess this isn't. Well, I guess the source is J.D. Salinger, A Life.
Yeah, I think they're following the pacing of the book.
Is this A Life titling mean all these books are part of like a biography series?
No, it doesn't. I think it's just a simple.
Okay. Well, everybody's doing it now, so I don't know.
I think it's often used when there's not any kind of like slant to it. It's not like look at this aspect of the life, or it's just like a simple, I guess it could just say a biography.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you like books?
Yeah.
No. Do you like movies?
Yes.
I guess. Do you like movies about writers?
I can't really think of a time when I liked that.
Do you find them entertaining?
About real writers or just movies
about real writers? Like when, I watched the woman who wrote Peter Rabbit.
Beatrix Potter?
Yeah, I watched the Ms. Potter movie.
Okay.
And you just kind of it's the least cinematic career you could show somebody doing on if somebody's a famous painter, they can paint and you're like, oh, now the camera moves with the brushstrokes. But when they're writing, it's like, all right, focus on the typewriter. Focus. Excellent. Space bar. Go.
Yeah.
And I just, this one, it's it's spanning his early life until he wrote his book, The Catcher in the Rye. How do you film something like that so it's very exciting? He's writing it. He's writing a Catcher in the Rye.
I guess it depends on what's going on. I think probably the interest here was that Salinger was
super
essentially
private.
a recluse. Yeah. So I think shedding the light on that certainly could be interesting. If you want to catch that one, I think that's more of a select theaters only kind of situation. It should have come out this past weekend. September 8th was the actual date. And you can catch American Assassin September 15th.
Okay.
Let's look ahead to Charles Martin's The Mountain Between Us. Are you familiar with...
Jeez, take that, Judi Dench.
Are you familiar with this book?
No, I'm not. Well, I feel like I have seen The Mountain Between Us and noticed it. Yeah. But here comes the movie with Kate Winslet and Idris Elba.
Yeah, so this one, this is a book that I wanted to read, actually. So I am kind of looking forward to the movie.
They both have a harsh good-lookingness to them.
That's fair.
I wouldn't say they're the most beautiful people in the world, but they're both very good-looking.
Okay.
But it's colder. Which is good because this book looks cold.
The Mountain Between Us. I always love a good survival story. So I'm a sucker for that anyway. And I think these are both compelling actors, and so throw them into this situation. Yeah. And I think it should be interesting. I do want to read the book.
I'm only going to watch this if it's also a little sexy.
It definitely is.
Okay.
So October 6th, you can catch this, and let me give you a little insight about it here. The book came out, The Mountain Between Us by Charles Martin, came out in 2011. Bound to cause an uptick in aviophobia, The Mountain Between Us is a more romantic version of Lost. Lost had a lot of stuff. I guess it wasn't romance. Woo! I got trapped in that one.
Yeah.
Two strangers played in the film by Kate Winslet and Idris Elba decide to share a charter plane when their flights are canceled due to inclement weather. But when their pilot suffers a heart attack during the flight, the plane crashes and the duo is forced to stay alive in the vast, secluded, and sub-zero Utah wilderness, all while dealing with severe injuries and realizing no help will come to save them.
Yeah, Brian from Hatchet will be there.
Yeah, he's going to
what's up, dummy?
Yeah. Hey, losers, I hope you brought a hatchet. Oh, you didn't? Sorry. So do you want to see this?
No.
I don't know. I don't get you, man.
Why?
What kind of movies do you want to see?
What?
Yeah, I want to hear it. We're talking about movies.
This
I want to
year?
know. No, just like what type of movie attracts you?
I don't know. Dinosaurs?
Okay.
No,
I
that's
got
not
that.
true because I want to see a bad dinosaur movie.
Yeah, you will. Dinosaurs, capes.
Yeah, superheroes.
What else you got? Because you're not really a mystery fan.
Right.
You're not really an action fan, but you do kind of like action movies.
Yeah. I do like
so like
action
you'd
movies.
see a Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in theaters though.
Okay. All right.
Those always look boring to me, and then I enjoy them when I watch them.
Okay.
I don't know. I like the Planet of the Apes movies, the new ones.
Okay.
I like a good sci-fi
Now
film.
we know The Mummy sort of turned out poorly,
Yeah.
but was that one like? Is that the type of movie that you would want to see?
Yeah, I like the big blockbusters, but
Blockbusters.
Lately,
Okay, I'll take that.
Lately, they've been bad.
Okay.
So, but I won't see so-called blockbusters like Battleship.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't want to watch Battleship either, but it's
Did. We had to like fight you. We had to accept that there was something going on in your brain that summer that made you want to go see Battleship.
I never saw Battleship.
It was only because as friends we kept saying no, we won't go see Battleship with you, Nick.
I mean, it was Liam Neeson on a Battleship movie. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right,
Liam
well,
Neeson, Rihanna.
I can't get a
1-2
baseline.
punch.
I can't get a baseline from
I
you.
know. I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. That's all right. Why don't we talk about? Why don't you take the next one here, the Jackie Chan adaptation here?
Okay.
All right.
Here's a movie based off of the book The Chairman with Stephen Leather.
Okay.
The movie's called The Foreigner, directed by Martin Campbell. Okay, so Martin Campbell directed GoldenEye, the James Bond, basically like
this
a
movie
James Bond reboot.
Stars Pierce Brosnan.
Because Pierce Brosnan. So GoldenEye was kind of, it wasn't a straight reboot, but it brought the franchise back to life under most people's eyes. And he also directed Casino Royale, which most people consider the best, one of the best James Bond movies. So, unfortunately, he also directed Green Lantern. So that didn't start anything.
That's not going to help. That's not going to help you at all.
But at least we know.
It helped Ryan Reynolds.
At least we know he can do action, though.
Yeah.
So,
and Jackie Chan hasn't been in anything since I want to say The Tuxedo. Is that right?
No, he's
the Medallion.
He's been doing a lot of overseas films.
Yeah.
Lately,
I'm sorry. I mean the U.S. release.
Yeah, you're right. The Tuxedo. Jeez, I can't believe I just said that. Gosh,
Rush Hour 3.
Nope. Karate Kid.
He
was in Karate Kid.
That's right.
And you loved that movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
So what's this about? Jackie Chan is making his much-anticipated return to Western cinema with this action thriller, a tale about a modest London shop owner with a buried past of being an assassin. Though, when his daughter is murdered in an act of terrorism, he comes out of retirement to avenge her death and wreak havoc on the British government.
Look out.
So
and this is a hard R, this adaptation, right?
I guess, like, speaking of Liam Neeson, like, he kind of started this, you can be an older, respected actor, and then do kind of B-movie action films, and people will take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody has tried to go after one like that. You had, Kevin Costner has done like 5 of those.
Yeah, he has.
But you have
Pierce Brosnan.
He did November Man.
Yeah.
I'm running out.
That's an adaptation right there of the Bill Granger series.
So,
did you watch November Man ever?
No.
Okay. I do want to watch it. I like those books. Anyway,
Jackie Chan's doing his now.
Here he comes.
But the thing is, Jackie Chan's always been an action star.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting. I get sad sometimes watching, because now like all the actors I liked when I was a kid are much older. It always kind of makes me
that's
sad.
how it works.
Time is unforgiving.
It's an unforgiving mistress, Eric.
Mistress.
What? The book The Chinaman by Stephen Leather came out in 1992. You've got the movie adaptation, directed by the director of Green Lantern, coming out in 2017.
Time, you need to leave. My wife will be home any minute.
All right, let's talk about The Snowman. Now, until we started researching for this episode, I did not realize that they were adapting this book series. This is a book series by...
These books are really popular.
They are. Joe Nesbo's Harry Holy series. And these books, I don't remember where they're from.
Okay.
Are they...
I thought they were Norwegian.
Icelandic or something? I don't know. You want to look it up? Find the answer to that question.
All right.
But these were translated into English in kind of a random order. So I've only read the very first one that came out, which was The Bat. And that was he's
Norwegian.
Norwegian. Okay. So
right.
he's a Norwegian cop trying to solve a crime in Australia in The Bat. And it did nothing for me, but these are immensely popular. These
Michael
books.
Fassbender.
Yep.
So I'll see a Fassbender movie.
Full frontal nudity in this. Is that right?
I guess.
Is that what he does now? Just all
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is he playing Harry?
I suppose so.
Yes, he does. Plays the lead detective. Okay.
Yeah.
Incredibly popular book series. We'll see how they handle an adaptation. They're dark and sort of. It's one of those ones where everybody's like a little unpleasant.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender likes to play unpleasant people.
Okay.
You would know that if you had ever seen Steve Jobs.
That's true. I've seen X-Men. The Snowman is the 7th book in Norwegian crime writer Joe Nesbo's wildly popular series. In the film, Fassbender plays a lead detective who connects the brutal decapitation, that's what I'm talking about, these books are dark, of a woman to other murders that have occurred on that year's first snowfall over the past decade. We got a serial murder. This winter-loving serial killer, as it turns out, is one of the most twisted criminals ever to set foot in the greater Oslo area. I don't think it's for me.
I'm sorry, man.
What about you?
No. I just told you I'm done with TV shows with watching people get murdered. I'm not seeking it out in a movie world.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Who could be the murderer? You got Michael Fassbender, Rebecca Ferguson. Mm-hmm. Is it Val Kilmer? Because he's in this movie.
Val Kilmer's in it? Wow.
And J.K. Simmons.
Speaking of dusting people off, Val Kilmer.
Poor Val Kilmer.
Where was he last?
Yeah. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Planes, Fire and Rescue.
Yeah, that's right. No, he's not in Fire and Rescue. He's only in Planes.
Okay.
But is this a good time for me to talk about my love of the late 90s movie The Saint, starring Val Kilmer?
Only
you
can decide.
I do love it, and there is a novelization, so that's a screen-to-page adaptation. That's another podcast entirely.
I think he might be... Val Kilmer's in it with an undisclosed role, which makes me think killer.
Maybe he's the Snowman.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's...
the Iceman.
Maybe he's Mark Twain, because that's his thing now. He goes around and does Mark Twain live shows.
Yeah. You guys gave me nothing for that Iceman one.
Sorry.
Because he was in... isn't that his name in Top Gun?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe... Do you think he'll be in Top Gun 2?
Yeah.
Top Gun, Mavericks, Revenge.
Oh, hey. All right. Let's move on.
Do it.
To what?
The next one.
Some same kind of different as me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Directed by Michael Carney. So this is Same Kind of Different as Me, a modern-day slave, an international art dealer, and an unlikely woman who bound together by Ron Hall, Denver Moore, and Lynn Vincent. And that will be all on the poster.
Yeah, boy.
So, okay, it's got Greg Kinnear,
2006 this book
Jamon
came out.
Huso, and John Voight.
John Voight.
I like 2 out of the 4 of those.
Ooh,
Can you guess which ones?
Greg Kinnear.
Yes.
John Voight.
No.
Renee Zellweger.
No.
Jamun Hansu.
Yeah.
Who's he?
He's been in lots of stuff. He was in Gladiator.
Okay.
Blood Diamonds.
Okay.
I guess he was in Tarzan recently.
Okay.
The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I like Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
I don't like Zellweger. John Voight, okay in the first Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah. Fine in
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that.
Look, we're getting off topic.
We
need
are.
to focus on.
All right. Give me a synopsis here. What do we got?
The true story of how 3 adults from different walks of life became connected with each other. A rich, unhappily married Southerner has a dream about a wise man, and when she and her husband volunteer at Soup Kitchen shortly thereafter, she realizes that one of the homeless people at the kitchen was the man in her dream. A journey and meditation and faith ensues.
Okay. Well, you can catch both of those the 20th of October.
Yeah.
Let's turn attention briefly to Agatha Christie's...
Of our time.
No. Agatha Christie of her own time.
Right.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes.
I want this to be good.
Yeah.
I like the poster. Mm-hmm. I like the little bit of the preview that I saw. Yeah. I mean, the poster, I think, is good. It's capturing the tone of that preview. Mm-hmm. I want it to be good.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be good?
I don't know, because I've read it, so now I'm going to be less...
Yeah, don't tell me. Is Johnny Depp playing Poirot?
No. That's Kenneth Branagh.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better.
Yeah. I actually think Johnny Depp is playing the character who's murdered.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the murdered.
Okay.
On the Orient Express.
I like Johnny Depp, and I feel like it's just nostalgia at this point.
Yeah.
When was the last time there was a cool Johnny Depp movie? Pirates 1?
I didn't hate Mordecai.
I didn't see Mordecai.
It was kind of funny.
I saw The Rum Diary, and there was
who's on the poster
nothing
here?
for
Kenneth
me there.
Branagh, Penelope Cruz, William Dafoe,
Judi
Dench.
I know you're going to make fun of
Josh
me for this,
Gad.
but I actually didn't really mind The Tourist.
Leslie Odom Jr. as in Aaron Burr, sir. Michelle Pfeiffer and Daisy Ridley.
Okay.
So, yeah, I hope Murder on the Orient Express is good.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I've got.
Oh, remember when Johnny Depp showed up at, are we allowed to say this, in Fantastic Beasts? Ugh.
No, I haven't seen Fantastic Beasts.
Nothing there. I did want to see Alice Through the Looking Glass, speaking of Johnny Depp. And he was in Kevin Smith's Yoga Hosers, so that's not a good sign for anyone's career.
All right. November 17th, you have the book Wonder by R.J. Palacio being turned into a movie called Wonder. So it's a boy with a facial deformity. He's finally given the chance by his protective parents to attend a public school after a lifetime of homeschooling. His adjustment period showcases the very best and worst of how children, and even adults, can react when someone who's different gets put into their lives, starring Julia Roberts. This book has been very popular. It's by the author also wrote Augie and Me, I believe is the title. You've probably seen the book before. It's the kid's face. He's got one eye that says Wonder over it. Mm-hmm. The movie poster has him walking around with a space helmet. I have to imagine this movie's going to do pretty well.
Probably. It's the director who did Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's your favorite movie ever.
No,
I just made that up. I'm so
sorry.
sorry.
It's not.
So yeah, I think that movie's going to be a big hit. I think it's going to be a lot of required reading. I mean, if it's not already by some, I think it will be more in schools. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, it seems like sort of a go-to. I think it is on a lot of lists and stuff. Well, where do you put Thor Ragnarok? What do you think they're adapting mostly from? World War Hulk?
Yeah, and maybe
some of the Ragnarok storylines.
There's two. There's Thor Ragnarok, which wasn't very good, and there's Thor Disassembled, which is very good.
Okay.
But that's a lot more serious.
And we have all these in our collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got some. Yeah, we got some really good Thor comics in there. Mm-hmm. And World War Hulk.
And when is that coming out?
That's coming out the first week of November.
Pretty excited about that one.
Yeah.
That looks good to me.
Yeah. See? So that's a movie I want to see.
Yeah.
All right. So counts. This one, The Disaster Artist. Well, I'm sorry. It is called The Disaster Artist.
Yes, thank you.
It's by Greg Sestero and Tom Bissell. So this is going to be weird because it's a movie about the making, I believe, of the movie The Room.
Yeah.
With James Franco playing Tommy Wiseau. So I didn't know this was coming out so soon. But so one of the supporting actors wrote the memoir and his bizarre relationship he shared with Wiseau. And James Franco just looks like he's the kind of guy that would play Tommy Wiseau and also feel like he's doing it respectfully. He's kind of the light side, I think, of Shia LaBeouf. You know?
Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. Yeah.
Like, he's still he does crazy things sometimes. He says stupid things, but people are like, he's fine. Yeah. And then Shia LaBeouf does it. It's like, wow, that guy is nuts.
I've never seen The Room, this movie that they're...
I've watched quite a bit of it. Riff Tracks have done it. It's something.
Huh.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Mark.
Any others you want to touch on? Are you excited about Jumanji? Let me ask you that. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah, I would like to be able to say I like a movie called Jumanji, finally.
I can't believe you don't like
Whatever.
that Robin
Go
Williams
watch
movie.
Jumanji and Space Jam and leave me alone.
I can't believe you don't like the Robin Williams Jumanji.
It's not funny. It's not heartwarming. It's a cold...
it is heartwarming.
It's a cold...
And it's kind of funny.
Dark film that mainly survived off of new CGI technology and Robin Williams' name, and... it's not great.
Sometimes you have these weird personal relationships with movies. Like, it feels like the movie Jumanji, stole your girlfriend and your wallet. And you want everyone to know that, one, you're over it. Yeah. And that the movie Jumanji is a stupid jerk.
Yeah, you know what? Jumanji and my girlfriend deserve each other.
Do they? Your ex-girlfriend, Eric. You need to get used to saying
that. Jumanji!
Well, I love that movie, so I don't want to hear it. Okay. And I've also read the novelization, and I did it as a book report. My teacher wasn't thrilled that I did that. Sorry, Mrs. Van Zomeren.
It's just not... Okay, I don't want to attack. All right.
I don't want you to
But this movie looks very funny.
It does, yeah.
We'll see if it is funny.
Okay, so this is coming out, when is it? December, right? December 20th, right before Christmas.
Okay.
Jumanji, based on the children's picture book, Jumanji by Chris Van Allsburg, which was a longtime favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I got this book from a Scholastic book order, and it's been one of my favorites, like, forever. I actually haven't read it to my son yet, but I'm going to. I don't understand its relationship to anything, though, this new movie. Is it connected to the original movie?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like a sequel of some sort.
I think it's just set
sort
in the
of
same
like
world.
in the same world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think whereas in the first movie...
Oh, okay. Based on the beloved picture book, Welcome to the Jungle, that's the subtitle, serves as a continuation of the 1995 film.
Right.
Flash forwarding 20 years, a group of high schoolers serving detention in a basement unwittingly gets sucked into a video game version of Jumanji, where they take on very different avatar versions of themselves. The only way out of the game is to work together, which may prove difficult for these jaded teens. Yeah. It's like The Breakfast Club, but for the digital age, according to The Vulture.com.
It seems like there's a few other The Breakfast Clubs for the digital age.
Probably, yeah. It's probably not the only one. Well, I'm excited about seeing this one.
I feel like Perks of Being a Wallflower was The Breakfast Club for the digital age.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah, it looks funny. I don't know. To say it's an adaptation, though, is always kind of like it's a concept.
Yeah, characters created by, concept created by. Yeah.
Those are movies
that was like a bonus.
Yeah.
We don't really count that as part of the list. Well, there's some I'm excited about on there.
Yeah.
I always like a good page
Have fun
to
at
screen.
that mountain movie.
You don't want to come?
No.
Couple of bros watching a romance in the mountains. All right, you want to babysit? No, you got it on podcast.
If I say it on air.
Yeah, then you have to.
Probably, I can babysit.
All right, I'm doing it then. Which one of these?
Your kid isn't such a jerk this time.
Wow.
No, actually, I want to talk about the fact that, one, there's a new Magic School Bus show coming.
Okay.
Two, I watched the old Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Mainly because your son, who I was babysitting, wanted to watch the bus show.
Thanks, man.
And he spent the whole episode just kind of watching it, and then he finally turned. He's like, "Why doesn't the bus talk?" I'm like, "What do you? It's this Magic School Bus. It doesn't talk." He's like, "But it has a mouth and eyes." And then the way he just looked at me and said it was like, "Are you an idiot? That bus has a mouth. Of course it can talk. I want to know why it doesn't." It's
pretty funny.
So, all right. That's just a story I wanted to share.
Okay.
Let's move on to library news.
All right, let's do it. Well, what I was going to ask you, out of all of those, or any that we didn't mention, what are you most looking forward to?
Star Wars!
No, page to screen wise.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe that Mountains movie?
You don't want to see it?
No.
I guess I want to see American Assassin, and I want to see the Mountain movie, but I'm probably most excited about Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, I guess that or Jumanji.
Okay. All right.
Thor.
Okay.
Ragnarok.
All right. Stop
listing. I mean, obviously it's Thor Ragnarok.
You've listed every movie that we've talked about now.
If I could only see one movie for the next 4 months, it's going to be Thor Ragnarok.
I know, man. Let's talk about...
If you want to know if I want to see a movie or not, just answer the question. Does this movie have a Hulk?
How many Thors are in this movie? If the answer is greater than 0, Eric will be buying a ticket.
Yeah.
Let's talk library
2 Thors!
We're coming up on History Week.
We sure are.
Which is coming
down
the pike.
Do you remember last year's History Week?
I sure do.
Yeah. We're actually going to have a booth up for last year's History Week during this year's History Week.
We're gonna honor the history of History Week.
Yeah.
Wow, that is meta. I like it. I like it.
Not everyone's going to get it.
No, they're not. We're going to have guest speakers in the auditorium the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. The displays are going to be collections from all over the county of a lot of Civil War memorabilia and just historical displays all week here in the library. Before that, though, on the 21st, we have a show from the Valley Theater. They're going to be doing a Grand Night for Singing, which is the Rogerson Hammerstein, basically a review. There's a light story sort of weaving through, but mostly it's just a showcase for the great music. So it's talented cast, should be a good show.
Which night do you feel is the most grand night?
For singing?
For singing.
Boy, September 21st, I guess.
Okay.
That's the one to...
Is that a Friday?
It's a Thursday.
I guess that's what I was trying to figure out. Do you
it's
feel
a Thursday.
Like, oh, you think Thursday's the grandest night for singing?
Night for singing, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And remember, folks, If you haven't read a lot of Naomi Shihab now, you better start doing it now because she's going to be here October 27th. We're looking forward to that and getting ready for it. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? Okay, well, you've wasted it. You've wasted the opportunities that I gave you just then. Now, when we were talking about doing a show on cliffhangers, we discussed how we would end this show on a cliffhanger. But will we? Find out in episode 109.
When did we talk about that?
In the car.
But nobody...
No.
On this episode.
I'm just telling you that we talked about...
Okay.
All right.
Jeez.
So we'll see you next week.
Or will we?
That's the cliffhanger. Just cut it.
It was a private conversation.